The following is a public server, not a casual production. The world was created in 1234. Shortly thereafter, it became custom in Sweden to once a year go door to door asking your neighbors for random baking ingredients. The day was known as the Baker's Day. Some villagers thought it funny to give door-goers poisoned ingredients. What a lark! As this practice grew, the partakers began to ask if they were receiving tricks, poisoned goods, or treats, delicious sugary goodness. This occasion was transported by boat to America in 1333, where Native Americans gave it their own special twist. The Native Americans, or NAs, would go around to local fur traders and ask for trinkets such as beads or coffee pots. The fur traders often traded live animals instead of pelts, often resulting in a very pissed-off animal attacking an even more pissed-off NA. The NA would return the trick by scalping the fur traders. This became the ultimate trick. When the age of the cowboy finally dawned, this tradition had been going on for many fortnights. The cowboys and cow children adopted this practice by going stable to stable asking for sugar cubes for their horses. Once enough sugar cubes were garnered, the cowboys and little cow children would throw a grand celebration in the form of a hoedown known as the Holland Grieve. Holland because of the tradition's Swedish background, and Grieve because Grieve was the name of the famous cowboy who killed the last NA. They would bob for carrots and play pin the scalp on the fur trader, all the while the skeletons of Native Americans were reincarnated with their NA spirits. They would haunt the partakers of Holland Grieve every year. The cowmen blamed the cowwomen for this haunting, as the cowwomen were often found trying to dig their carriages out of Indian burial grounds. As a result, many women were deemed witches, as they were witched bad at driving. They didn't know which way they were going, ba-doom-tsh. This led to the Salem witch trials, where many witches were burned. We receive our common imagery of a witch with witch hat and broomstick from these ancient burning rituals. At these burnings, it became custom to tie broomsticks to the witches, signifying how the burning would cleanse their spirits. Pointy black hats were placed on the witches' heads because black was in style and pointy was the new black. A popular way for witches to escape burning was to wear a funny costume. Many dressed up as zombies or businessmen, and would join in on the Holland Grieve festivities as a way to help blend in. Many Holland Grievers adopted this tradition and started wearing costumes of their own. The costuming made its transition to colonial America in 1778. At this time, the festival became known as Hallows Eve due to a translation error made by Lester Trundlebottom. When translating from Old English to Russian, and then back to English, he mistranslated the word grieve for grave. Grave, in Russian Eves, then became the suffix of this holiday. Holland became Hallows because that dude had sloppy hand scribing. Anyhoot, the holiday, now called Hallows Eve, regained popularity at the turn of the year 1779, when Arthur Abernathy discovered candy. Legend has it he was strolling through a field with a flock of ladies when he came upon a candy plant. He then decided to revive Hallows Eve by handing out candy to local children. You know, back when that sort of thing wasn't creepy or awkward. This tradition grew and grew over the years, with all the families in the neighborhoods handing out candy. But this raucous affair proved to be too much to continue doing at random, so a set date was needed. Some suggested July 4th, but as many townsfolk pointed out, this was already known as Independence Day. Although this date was never officially agreed upon, many rebels still celebrate on that date to this day. October the 31st was decided upon by throwing knives at a large piece of wood that had every date in the calendar year written on it. Then just 205 days, as the additions of June and December did not happen until the year 1983. We still celebrate Hallows Eve to this day, although scholars do not know why the name was changed to Halloween, which sounds much lamer. Our costumes have evolved from a way to blend in to a way to stand out, but then again, with the sheer number of costumers, you're bound to look like someone else. Witches are no longer burnt, although it can still be argued that women to this day have not mastered the art of driving. And now you know the history of Halloween. This has been a Vulgar Production.